Deleted Session, April 30, 1979. Good evening. You make your own reality. Your finite abilities will seek to express themselves regardless of the misunderstandings you may have concerning them or the barriers seemingly thrown in your way by family or society. Some portion of you rises up to say yes when your own finite abilities show themselves in whatever form. Later, you might see that many of your own decisions or actions that once appeared disadvantageous, and for which you berated yourself, were in fact the very ones that helped bring your own abilities to your attention. On the one hand, all sessions were something that you did aside from something else that you thought you should do, both of you. You considered yourselves a writer and an artist, yet once the sessions began, you continued them, wondering often whether or not you should have. I am speaking of you jointly, not realizing that you had found a vehicle that would coax your best from both of you. Your spontaneous selves in that area, relatively speaking, now, were allowed their expressions. Creativity was not inhibited by a certain form, but, in a unique way, was freed from form. It was allowed to live beyond the boundaries of painting or writing, to escape even the temporal frames of your present personalities, and to form an original psychic or psychological structure, a new psychological art, if you prefer, that could be contained in none of the arts as they are known. You were free enough to be daring, and you took this upon yourselves out of your own sense of curiosity and wonder. I did not start out writing books, but speaking to you for your edification. Had I begun writing books, Rupert would have been appalled, thinking that I was invading his province. In this area of your lives, however, and relatively speaking, again, you have allowed your creative, spontaneous selves some freedom. You have behaved gallantly and well. In the beginning, the sessions were private. They have attained other dimensions now, as they were meant to. But as far as the sessions themselves are concerned, I want to stress the ease with which they naturally occur. The lack of strain you allow yourself to be, once begun, the sessions happen. Contrast this with your joint attitudes toward your other work, with the hustles involved, the need to be absolutely sure of what you are doing, to have the plan there, and everything known in advance. Those ideas impede creativity. Ram noted to me. They said your body wanted relaxation, but you believed that relaxation was, under the circumstances, wrong, and often when your body began to relax in a pet, you automatically tightened it, as another might straighten his tie to be more presentable. Relaxation leads to spontaneity. It allows you to be freely what you are. When you are tense, you impede mental, psychic, and artistic spontaneity. When you relax, you are open to intuitive events. Your experience in relaxation, Ram noted a week ago. They said allowed your body some release. The relaxed body sends forth hormones and chemicals of a balanced nature that influence processes of thought, modulate moods, and also allow for moments of deep contentment and moments of elation. When the body becomes too tense, reactions are exaggerated in certain fashions, bringing forth dejection or depression. When necessary, such reactions are meant to show the personality that changes are due. You should have more of those relaxing periods of varying degrees, as your body becomes regulated again. You will find yourself at times wanting physical activity more than usual, and at other times wanting only to relax. The mind operates in the same fashion, following its own rhythms, covering mental ground at an amazingly quick rate on some occasions, and on others desiring a change or a rest. Give us a moment. Raise your hand. Do you have questions on the material? Ralph said no. She said, you are doing well. Get your friend some cigarettes. A very brief beginning on question 1. Ralph noted of Professor Moorcraft's letter. They said, give us a moment. They are almost always they are of little consequence here. Every visible or invisible particle has consciousness according to its own scale of reality. Each particle, visible or invisible, is a well-raised energy. This is most difficult to explain, but like, say, the units of some multidimensional computer, each visible or invisible particle carries within it the knowledge of all other particles, including their positions and their probable positions. Each operates within the field of probabilities and makes its decisions on the basis of such inbuilt information. There is then an almost instantaneous flow of information throughout such particles. The position of one cannot be ascertained ahead of time with any certainty in your framework of reference. Say in the situation of the proton, because the proton is receiving such a barrage of information that is not available to you at a conscious level, and that is not available to your instruments. That same information is available on a cellular basis, and to the smaller particles that make up the bodies to the experimenters, and the structure of the instruments. I am aware this is of little practical value to you. Give us a moment. A very brief note in terms of significant but small connections with Framework 2. Ruber's attempt to get the Yale Prize. Tan's schooling at Yale, and your present experience with the papers. These simply hint at connecting clues involved with probabilities, an interesting subject that I will get into at some time. Ruber is flabbergasted. I am pleased, and I bid you both a fond good evening, unless you have questions. Ralph said, I guess not. Rob noted, as said Jen nodded, closing out the session.